Hey, what's up guys, it's Borak Trigger. Today we're going to be doing the, yesterday's video or today's video, depending on when this video goes out. The entirety of that video was me talking about the cars that had come out, then I built the F1 and the Solas, and then I edited the video, took out as much as I possibly could, anything that was unnecessary, and the video was still 27 minutes long, which is extremely excessive on a video that I assume is probably going to do well. I have already made the cars, but in the video that you're about to see, it is my typical video where I do the build process, all that. It's just that I failed to do an intro, so that's what this is. Here you go. We're gonna start off with the double pack. This is gonna be quite a long video because we got two cars to break down. I did look into a video before this, taking a look at the F1 LM and the Solas because I'm actually excited for both. A lot of people mostly just care about the F1 LM. Not me, I like both, but obviously my favorite is gonna be the F1 LM. The Solas, it appears to not have a chassis. The last car that I worked with that didn't have a chassis was the Lamborghini Urus. Doesn't have a chassis. You just build bricks and bricks and bricks until all of a sudden you've got a whole car. So if this is going to be anything like that, I'm looking forward to it because that is a very interesting build technique or route. Having something that strays away from that just feels nice. So anyways, we've been talking for quite a while. Let's get started with the first time lapse. All right, guys, I have finished up the first bag of the Mclaren Solas, and my memory did serve me correctly. This has absolutely no chassis, and I believe the reason for that is because this is a 9-stud wide car. Therefore, a chassis, I guess, would have been, since it would have been an even number, it didn't work out very well, or at least it wouldn't have. This has something really cool going on with it. I can't even say something. This has a number of things going really good just in the build process alone. So to get that 9 wide, you can actually see, God, I hope you guys can see it. I kind of doubt it. You can see this little red tip. This is a Technic piece, which goes straight down the center of the car. It's pretty long, and it just goes all the way to maybe yeah, right around here. So from here to here, there is a red Technic piece that is holding a bunch of stuff together and acting kind of like a chassis. And then you build bricks on top of that, and that one piece creates enough of a division where it can then be an odd number car and still have a lot of symmetry on both sides. Not a lot, it's literally symmetrical on both sides whilst staying 9 wide, which is awesome. This looks really good. Obviously, they didn't take the same route as other cars. Typical Speed Champions fashion, the first bag is the back half, the second bag being the front half. And this one, of course, since there's no chassis, you're just laying the foundation for the rest of it to go on. And I think it's coming out really good. This is a very strange build process. It kind of feels like it may be a little bit experimental for Speed Champions. But then again, I think most Speed Champions builds are pretty experimental. They're always coming up with new things, and this is no exception. It's really weird to build, and I love that. It's very different. I'm not super into other Lego sets, so I can't tell you about exactly what pieces are new. I know that there are new pieces that are involved here, but I don't know the names of them or exactly which ones. I believe that in these wheel arches, not the wheel arch itself, but to your guys' right, this little arc that is right here, the inside I believe is a new piece, and then the outside is a piece that we already had. There's just, a bunch of little fun things put into this, and I think it's really cool in terms of just the build process and all that. This is very fun. I do quite enjoy this. It breaks the mold that Lego Speed Champions typically sets for itself. So anyways, I'm about to go into bag 2. We'll finish up the car, and yeah, let's go. I decided to take down the Aston Martin Valkyrie because this does remind me heavily of the Aston Martin Valkyrie, especially with this. You guys probably can't see it. This is a very complicated build technique in the back, but it's basically taking a bunch of tiny little pieces, putting them all together to make this one giant, kind of like an arrow shape in the back. that has a little fin in it that really doesn't move at all. It's not supposed to move. It's a lot more pronounced in the Valkyrie. You can see it here. It even says Valkyrie. The spoilers are very similar. I may be wrong or right about this, but I would assume that these are in the same racing genre, kind of like how we have the RSR cars, GT3 cars, but these do very much remind me of each other. The only difference, of course, is that the Valkyrie, while it's pretty thin in the center and it turns into quite a bit more as you go out, the Solas just grabs that and exaggerates it. So the inside or the middle is very thin, very, very thin. And then it kind of, in the rear and in the front, it widens out. And I think that looks really good. It kind of gives it that hourglass shape. If it weren't for the Pagani Utopia and the McLaren F1 LM, I do believe that this could have been my favorite. But of course, the McLaren F1 is just going to stomp that altogether. And then the Pagani Utopia is just a car that I've been really excited for. The build techniques in this whole car are outrageous. Like, I've never seen a car have so many different unique styles to it and just throw it all into one car and say, hey, here you go. I love it. I think it's really cool. There were some people on YouTube who were talking about there's just a little bit of give on the windshield, which is true, but that's just because it's not connected to anywhere in the back, just in the front. But I don't have any issues with that. In fact, that's just going to be a minor detail that I completely forget about in the upcoming months. Very limited on stickers. That's great. We love to see it. In the back, we've got some really nice brick-built rear lights, which look great. Of course, in the front, we don't have any headlights because of the type of car this is. This is more for racing, so of course it's not going to actually have headlights. All around looks really good. I'm super happy with the way that this car came out, and I think it looks a lot better than I was anticipating. And while I have this in my mind, I just wanted to quickly talk about the Lego store. I just want to let you guys know, if you plan on going to the Lego store first day, expect it to be somewhat similar to Black Friday. Not to the craziness that you see sometimes in the news, but today it just kind of felt unnecessary. I saw so many people with hands full, just like me, of the cars, of one of each car. And while it's cool to see that, Speed Champions is really blowing up and people really enjoy it, it is a little bit nerve-wracking to see people kind of, acting out over it. Me being a 24-year-old, young people were known to think, nothing will ever happen to me. I'm gonna keep it $150. Yeah, I was able to just kind of put my hands in and say, I want this, 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 and then just let everybody else deal with it. If all these people are wanting to get what they want to get, I'm not going to be in last place. Just be a little careful. People are crazy, and that's thanks to the public. Anyways, let's go on to the GOAT, the incredible, amazing Spider-Man. No, it's the F1 LM. Let's get started. All right, guys, I finished up the first bag of the McLaren F1 LM. Also had some pretty cool building mechanics. The exhaust was kind of funny, and these lines, of course, being printed was nice. The F1 LM, McLaren in the back here was not printed, but that was fine. That was not a difficult sticker to pull off or anything like that. The rear lights are also brick built, but that's because they're very simple tail lights, not too difficult, to get there at all. We obviously have a spot that the spoiler is going to go onto. Not a very difficult spoiler, of course. The F1 LM has a very simplistic spoiler. It does have the mono cockpit, and it does have 2 seats in the back, which from the YouTube video that I did see about it, they don't really fit any minifigs, but they are there as a small detail. Steering wheel is obviously mono, and I believe that this may be the new chassis. And then, of course, we just need to finish up the front half, the top spoiler. It's coming along very nice. I really enjoy the look of this already. Time for the second time lapse, and we'll finish this up. Oh man, this is something else. I think starting with last season of Lego Speed Champions, I made the decision that every time a new series comes out, I'll rank them once I'm finished with all of them. I said it before, so it's already spoiled, but I'm just gonna say it again. This is number one by far, easily. Um, I'm I'm nerding out right now. Like, this is amazing. Um, this, if I compare it to the F40, the Countach, the Bugatti Chiron, don't get me wrong, those are some of my favorites. Even the Valkyrie, which at one point was my favorite, it overtakes it by a mile. I remember when the Valkyrie came out, I had said that it was going to be hard for a car to beat it in my opinion of what is my favorite Speed Champions car. Then the Nissan Skyline came out, the R34, and this bad boy. And I was in the moment trying to figure out what wasn't my new favorite. I came to the conclusion that it was the R34, but the Valkyrie is obviously still up there. Little did I know how quickly that was going to change. This had leaked prior to the Nissan Skyline coming out, so I was just trying to feel everything out and figure out exactly what was going to be my favorite. I can't imagine this getting beat out. I think the only way they could possibly beat it out is if they were to maybe release an 8-wide Mclaren P1. I just don't see them remastering old sets since the P1 has already been done. The P1, or if they were to do the Koenigsegg Agera RS, it's a tough. It would be incredibly difficult for them to actually make me like something more than this car, and that is a case of just my opinion of the original car. Not even my opinion, it's just a fact at this point. Everybody loves the McLaren F1, whether it be the GTR or the LM. I tried my hardest with the stickers. Not an insane amount of stickers if you compare it to previous years. Just they killed it. The likeness is 100% there. It's just smaller. It's so cool to see. This is cool. I really do enjoy this a lot, but nothing's gonna take this out. And to explain to you guys how much I do like this, I think that this looks better, and I think it is better than the Valkyrie, which, like I said, at one point was my favorite. When I say my favorite car, I'm always just talking about four wheels, small, whatever. And by the way, the Valkyrie was beating out the Bronco. And I love the Bronco because it's huge. But then you get into the dragster, the F14 Scuderia. I definitely like this a lot more than the dragster, which is the first time that's happened since the dragster came out. I still don't know about the F14 Scuderia truck. It really is just the size of that truck that makes me love it so much. This is comparing with it, to be honest, which if you've seen any of my videos and you know how much I praise the F14 Scuderia truck, that's a pretty big deal. It's pretty much tied. It's just that this car means so much to me. And the thing is that, of course, people's biases are going to play a big role in what cars they like the most. I don't know if, here it is, right here. The Mercedes-Benz F1 car, when I did that video, I didn't even do a video on that. It had pissed me off so much because so many things just went wrong that I didn't even upload the video of it. I disliked that car because of the build process. Things were missing, and I had messed up on a part which took forever to fix. And I know nothing about the person who drove it. I know nothing about the car. I don't even know anything about the sport. Therefore, I don't care. But if you were somebody else who maybe loves F1, like with a passion, you know all about the car and the records that it's set, or the person who's driving the car and you idolize them, then I can totally understand why this would be like one of your favorite Speed Champions cars of all time. I totally get it. For me, I'm basing it off of the things that me and the car have been through, as nerdy as that sounds, and also the aesthetic of it. But for this car, it's a basic orange car. If you strip away the factors of this is the F1 LM, that's just an orange car with a really weak looking spoiler. So I totally get it. The Mercedes, respect where it's due. But this is my Mercedes F1 car. If you put it in that analogy, this is so insane to me. and they really did kill it. Just everything about it, I think, is pretty much perfect. This is bang on. The way that they got away with a lot of these angular bits was really nice. A little bit difficult here and there. Like there's a lot of just small pieces that will fall apart under pressure while you're trying to apply it. But then you learn and you realize, okay, I need to actually go at it with this approach instead. I did see some people on YouTube talk about these sides can lift up and become a flat angle, which is obviously not the look that you're going for. But as long as you don't grab it from those parts, you should be just fine. The little fin looking thing in the side of the door to get the natural look of the doors with the the stuff for aerodynamics, that's amazing. The orange of the stickers matching, not to a T, but definitely well enough to the actual orange of the brick. Great. We love to see it. There was a little bit more stickers than this car, but a lot less stickers than most cars. The spoiler, of course, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the way that the F1 LM looks. It is a weak-ass spoiler. I'll say it straight. But if they messed with it, it would have been pretty much blasphemous. So, of course, that's just something that you could say about the F1 LM itself. No problem there, really. These rims being exactly what the F1 LM's rims look like in real life. Whether or not that was, well, of course that was a coincidence. You get this in every car. And in fact, even I put them on the Solas as well. That's funny. So that was really cool. That was a really, really convenient coincidence. The Mclaren badge, nice and shiny. It looks perfect. The angles that you get from this back portion meeting up to the hood, it's great. It's really, really great. I did have a concern while I was building it because the front portion, when it created that angular, when it created the angle, there was a thick gap right here and right here. But then you put in these bricks with the stickers on them, completely hides the gap. There's no longer a visible gap. And the amount of studs that are not on top. There are some studs on the side skirts. If I'm willing to forgive the Nissan R34, I can forgive this for having studs on the sides. So when we finish up the season, you know where this is going to sit. There's no question. But of course, I don't know where the rest are going to sit. I don't think I have anything else to add. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Hey, yo, what that rock say?